In the bustling heart of a busy city, the afternoon sun casts long shadows on the streets as people hurry about their daily routines. Amidst the crowd, a scene begins to unfold that captures the attention of passersby. A young black man, Marcus Johnson, dressed casually in jeans and a t-shirt, walks confidently down the street, his backpack slung over one shoulder. Suddenly, he's stopped by a white police officer, Officer Daniel Hart, who steps out of his patrol car with a serious look on his face. The area is a common hub for both locals and tourists, creating a vibrant backdrop of shops, street vendors, and cafes. As Officer Hart approaches Marcus, their interaction is initially calm, marked by routine questions. The officer explains to Marcus that he fits the description of a suspect involved in a recent incident. Marcus listens, his expression a mix of confusion and concern, as onlookers begin to take notice of the unfolding situation. Welcome back to PlotTwister. Before we unravel today's mystery, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you're always in the loop. Introducing Marcus Johnson, a 28-year-old graphic designer known in his neighborhood for his creative talents and dedication to community service. Just this morning, he was helping set up a charity event aimed at providing local kids with free art supplies. Marcus is well-liked and respected, often seen as someone who brings positivity and innovation to his community initiatives. Officer Daniel Hart, on the other hand, is a seasoned policeman with over 15 years on the force. Known among his peers for his adherence to the law and a no-nonsense approach to his duty, Hart believes in maintaining order and safety above all. His reputation as strict but fair precedes him, and he takes pride in his work, believing that each day presents an opportunity to serve and protect. As Officer Hart asks for Marcus's ID and begins to explain that Marcus is being detained for further questioning, the mood starts to shift. Marcus cooperates, his hand slightly raised in a gesture of compliance, but his eyes reveal a growing distress. The officer's tone is professional but firm, as he mentions that Marcus's appearance closely matches that of a robbery suspect they've been tracking. Onlookers now pull out their phones, capturing videos and murmuring amongst themselves about the justice of the situation. The tension is palpable as Marcus, maintaining his composure, is led towards the police car, his future uncertain as the camera of a nearby observer zooms in, framing a moment that would soon ripple across the community. As Marcus is handcuffed and led to the back of the patrol car, the procedure is textbook, but every click of the cuffs echoes loudly in the suddenly silent crowd. Officer Hart remains professional throughout, explaining the steps he's taking, citing that Marcus is being detained for further questioning based on his resemblance to a reported suspect. Marcus nods, his face a mask of calm, but his eyes are wide, the reality of the situation sinking in as he's gently guided into the vehicle. Around them, the mood among the bystanders shifts from curiosity to concern. Several people start recording the incident on their smartphones, their whispers growing louder. "He didn't even do anything," someone mutters within earshot of the camera. A woman questions loudly, "Why are you arresting him?" Her voice carries over the murmur, challenging the officer's actions. This vocal reaction from the crowd begins to attract even more attention, drawing a small crowd that starts to question the fairness of the arrest. Flashback to earlier that day where Marcus was setting up an art station at a local park, laughing and interacting with kids and parents alike. He was handing out brushes and encouraging creativity, his genuine smile and easy demeanor making him a favorite among the community members. These scenes of joy and community service starkly contrast with the current tension, highlighting the disparity between Marcus's true character and the situation he now finds himself in. Back at the precinct, Officer Hart discusses with his colleagues the basis for Marcus's arrest. He lays out the evidence as he understands it, descriptions for witnesses, the location of the recent crimes, and how Marcus fits into his puzzle. Despite his firm belief in following procedure, there's a hint of doubt in his voice, a slight uncertainty that maybe this arrest was too swift, too based on superficial details. The segment ends with Marcus sitting alone in the back of the police car, his head bowed but his spirit not broken. The car drives off, the camera focusing on his face through the barred window. Behind him, the crowd's murmurs fade into a single powerful chant for justice. This cliffhanger leaves viewers on the edge, pondering the fine line between law enforcement and personal liberties, between safety and prejudice. The scene cuts with the setting sun casting long shadows over the street, symbolizing the dark turn of events in what was just another ordinary day. Detective Laura Gibson enters the scene, a seasoned investigator known for her sharp eye and dedication to justice. She begins reviewing the arrest footage, her gaze intense as she scrutinizes every frame of the video taken by bystanders and the body cam footage from Officer Hart. Her office, cluttered with case files and notes, becomes the center of a deep dive into the details of Marcus's arrest. She starts cross-referencing the descriptions provided by witnesses with the information in front of her. Meanwhile, the community's reaction grows stronger outside the police station. Social media erupts with hashtags and calls for justice for Marcus. Clips of his arrest circulate widely, sparking outrage and drawing attention from local news outlets. The community organizes a rally outside the precinct with signs reading "Justice for Marcus" and "End Racial Profiling." The voices of the community are loud and clear, echoing through the streets, demanding accountability. Back in her office, Detective Gibson finds inconsistencies in the witness statements and the physical descriptions that led to Marcus's detainment. She notes discrepancies in the height and build descriptions compared to Marcus's actual physical attributes. As she pores over the crime scene photos from the robbery and compares them with Marcus's arrest video, she grows increasingly convinced that something doesn't add up. Officer Hart, meanwhile, begins to face his own doubts. He reviews the case files again, his brow furrowed as he reads through the witness statements and looks at the evidence gathered so far. The growing public scrutiny and the detective's questions start to weigh on him, causing him to rethink the arrest. He's seen discussing with a fellow officer, sharing his concerns about possibly having made a premature decision based on incomplete information. The investigation takes a sharp turn when a key witness, previously confident in their identification of Marcus as the suspect, now seems uncertain. They're brought back for a follow-up interview with Detective Gibson, where, under careful questioning, they admit that their initial identification might have been influenced by the stress of the situation and the quick glimpse they caught of the suspect. This revelation adds a significant twist to the case, casting further doubt on the validity of Marcus's arrest and stirring more questions about the real perpetrator's identity. Detective Gibson reviews the new surveillance footage from the charity event, displaying clear and undeniable images of Marcus engaging with children and adults far from the crime scene. Each frame, stamped with the exact time of the robbery, confirms his alibi, showing Marcus active and involved in the community event. This revelation unfolds across multiple monitors in her cluttered office, providing solid evidence of Marcus's innocence. At the same time, Officer Hart watches the same footage on his laptop in the dimly lit break room. With each view, the gravity of his mistake becomes more apparent. He pauses the video on a frame of Marcus laughing with a child, the timestamp in clear view. Hart sits back, the weight of the error pressing down on him, and he acknowledges to himself the misjudgment he's made. Back at the police department, senior officers and the public relations team are in a serious meeting. They're already discussing the implications of the new evidence and planning how to publicly address the mistake. They draft an apology to Marcus, aiming to mitigate the damage and begin repairing the trust broken by the wrongful arrest. Meanwhile, Marcus sits quietly in his cell, sketching in a small notebook to pass the time and keep his mind off the stressful situation. Despite the bleak surroundings, he maintains a sense of hope, waiting patiently for any news that might lead to his release. All of a sudden, Detective Gibson receives an unexpected phone call. Picking up the receiver, she listens intently as a new witness comes forward, proving a crucial tip that points to the real perpetrator. The information is a game changer, introducing a significant twist to the case. Gibson takes rapid notes, her expression one of intense focus, as she begins to understand the broader implications of this new lead. Detective Gibson acts swiftly on the new information received from the anonymous tipster. She collaborates with her team to trace the real perpetrator, leading to the discovery of additional CCTV footage. This crucial evidence captures a former police officer known to Officer Hart committing the robbery. This revelation is shocking, and it swiftly moves through the department, changing the course of the investigation and clearing Marcus's name once and for all. With the real culprit identified and the evidence confirming his involvement, the police department moves to correct their mistake. Marcus is released from custody, and the moment he steps out of the detention center, he's met with cheers from a crowd of supporters gathered outside. The emotional reunion with his family is captured, showing hugs and tears of relief. Marcus's dignity and strength throughout his ordeal resonate with those around him. In the wake of Marcus's release, Officer Hart steps forward to make a public apology. At a press conference with media cameras rolling, he openly admits the mistake and expresses his deep regret. His apology, sincere and heartfelt, is directed towards Marcus and the community, acknowledging the pain caused by his error and the importance of accountability in law enforcement. Following this, a town hall meeting is organized to foster dialogue between the police and the community. The meeting focuses on reconciliation and discussions about implementing changes in police procedures to prevent similar incidents. Marcus attends, speaking about his experience and his hopes for improved community-police relations. His words are powerful, calling for understanding and systemic change. Officer Hart actively participates in setting up a new event at the charity where Marcus works. His involvement in arranging chairs, hanging decorations, and interacting with community members marks a sincere effort toward personal redemption and rebuilding trust, symbolizing a commitment to positive change and fairness within the community. Marcus addresses a crowd at the community center, detailing his experiences and the support that sustained him. He emphasizes the power of community and perseverance, his words resonating with gratitude and determination. As he speaks, the room is filled with the energy of collective commitment to change. Immediately following, a panel of experts, community leaders, and law enforcement officials engage in a robust discussion on racial profiling and police reform. They explore the necessity of improved training, better engagement between police and communities, and substantive policy changes. The dialogue is rich and constructive, aimed at bridging the divide between the community and the police. Detective Gibson takes a moment to explain the crucial development in Marcus's case. She reveals how security footage finally pointed to a former police officer known to Officer Hart as the real perpetrator, highlighting the complex challenges of trust and accountability within the police force. Marcus shares his vision for the future, infused with optimism about the reforms already in progress and the positive changes on the horizon. His commitment to being part of this change inspires others, encouraging them to join in the efforts to improve relations between the community and the police. At the charity event, Marcus is surrounded by children and community members. He speaks about the importance of forgiveness and unity, stressing the need to come together to build a stronger, more just society. His final words leave a profound impact on everyone present, echoing the themes of hope and collective strength. What are your thoughts on the twist we uncovered today? Comment your ideas below, and make sure to like and subscribe for a daily dose of drama and mystery. See you later with another twist.